Hello, and welcome to Craft and Chaos, the podcast for creative weirdos who can't stop making things, even when the algorithm is watching and gently whispering, "That's not marketable, and we're canceling your home insurance." I'm Pete Wright, and I want to talk about something that happened to me the other day. I was riding along happily in Google Docs, whistling a jaunty tune, as I want to do, when suddenly I was struck that Google now reserves the right to use my work to train its AI. "Oh no," said me. "That means somewhere out there a robot is learning to write exactly like me, which is terrible because I don't even like how I write." I put my head in my hands in sorrow and continued mournfully, "If I wanted a machine to replicate my self-doubt and radical overuse of the M-dash, I would have made a clone of my high school English teacher, Colin Chisholm. #name check. But that's the world we live in now, where the line between your voice and terms of service is getting very, very blurry. So today, we're talking identity and authorship and creative ownership and the deep, unshakable need to be weird just to feel alive. In fact, it may be all we have left. So we're also gonna play a game where I read real working title of a movie and you have to guess what it became. And no, nerds, I'm not just gonna repeat Blue Harvest over and over again. We get it. You know that one. So if you want to see what happens when a slam poetry open mic and a software license agreement have a baby, this is your show. Hi, everybody. We've got Kyle Olson playing the part of Stabby LaRue. Hi, Kyle.
Buenos dias.
We've got Unknown playing the role of Ryan Dalton.
I am the AI ghost of Ryan Dalton. Pleased to meet you, error.
And here to Poddle, it's Misty Stinnett.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Oh, and I'm Pete, and I'm just Pete. It's just me, Pete.
Well, I'm just Pete.
I don't even know. So, Minnie, just to get us started, just a little palate opener, just an opener. This is a rapid fire. I don't want to get deep yet.
Sure.
I just want a little round robin. I want to know, what is a way that you have changed your creative process, even slightly, because of AI? And it could be AI paranoia, data fear, tool mistrust. I'm just curious how you have changed.
So yeah, as I saw that the Gemini handwriting on the wall in Google Docs, I was like, ooh, okay, time to pull everything off of there, because they make enough off of me. I don't need to give them also my creative heart and soul as well. So yeah, I've been in the process of kind of blocking that. I also was on Wattpad for a while, and so Wattpad was a sort of a early gathering place for fan fiction writers and stuff too. And then this, I think it was a Korean company who had no interest in any type of writing or anything, bought it, and then quietly sat back and went, "No, go ahead, just keep writing." It was sort of a little bit odd. Like, why would you buy a bunch of, and then suddenly then the AI thing came out. I was like, oh. So all the things came off of there as well. So yes, it's been difficult you want to have your work out there, you want people to be reading it, but also you don't want to be training your replacement.
Yeah, if I like hire someone to do some work, like to help me with book stuff or whatever, there are times now I do have to specify, do not use AI in anything that you're about to create for me, because sometimes, well, usually they'll ask like do you mind if we use AI generation in anything, and I always say no. So that's a conversation I never thought I would have to have, but the backlash can be, I don't want to use it anyway, but the backlash can be severe if the reader community finds out anyone's using AI in basically any part of creating a book. So I would not want any part of it anyway, but I doubly don't, because I also like having a career. So
Weird. Misty?
Yeah, I've changed my creative process in regards to AI, but just giving up.
Have you considered throwing in the towel?
I, for one, welcome my new AI overlord.
Yeah. No. I haven't, but it has made me okay, so the thing that scares me the most about using AI, other than it's just straight up theft,
Mhm.
it is deeply, deeply just theft of everyone's works, which is so funny because I feel like so much of American business and the economy was built on copyrights and trademarks and protecting inventions. And now it's like, ooh, the biggest innovation ever is just stealing everyone's thoughts, ideas, and creative works and giving everyone access to it. So that's something I'm like in real time reckoning with. It was only, I think, like 2 days ago that I realized, oh, this is just theft. The thing that actually really scares me with all of this is cognitive diminishment, which I think we talked about on another episode. But as a reminder, like the GPS effect, right? So before there were GPSs everywhere, you knew how to get around town. And now I don't know that I could navigate to every place in Los Angeles without my GPS. And it's the same idea. Like the more you're using AI, the more you're maybe losing the ability to create beautiful sentences, to draw, the thing that you want to draw. So I try not to use it in my creative process. And also it has just increased my joy of writing by hand. Because that's something that no AI is going to be able to replicate is, actually writing things down by hand in my handwriting. So that's my top level.
Oh, I like
pivot.
that. That's good top level pivot. I like that a lot. I think in general I am more bullish on AI, and I'm more bullish just in what it allows me to do that isn't about the creative process at all. Because holy cow, it has made so many areas of my work vastly better. Not the
Yeah.
stuff that I like to do the most, right?
Mhm.
The stuff that I consider core to my job. I am scared of the influx, of the just sort of incursion into every single trusted space that I have around the stuff that I get to be creative about. I don't love that. But the problem is the barrier between those things is so fuzzy, because the stuff I do love using it on, the stuff that's purely pragmatic, calculatory, that kind of stuff is so good.
Yeah, I've said that AI is a great tool in certain circumstances because it's really good at writing things that no one wants to write and no one wants to read.
Yeah, it's a space filler.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the Lorem Ipsum of our future.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you like stuff filler stuff
They
on your
should just-
website or PR or emails, like it's great at that because no one wants to write that, no one wants to read it. Let the bot do it.
Someone should just name an AI boilerplate and let it come up with that stuff. Yeah.
It makes me really frustrated because when I wrote the book last year, I really started crafting movie reviews. Like that was part of the thing. I'd really not written very much in terms of like really scattershot movie reviews. And I really wanted to, stay sharp and keep writing sentences and use those as a way to practice, style, being a style chameleon, like just to learn new voices. And right then, AI took off and everybody else's, profiles filled with nonsense, right? Slop. And I thought, oh, well, this is a lousy time to start really investing in being a writer of regular pieces, because I'm just lost in a world of everybody using these tools to craft their stuff. And that's heartbreaking.
In my brief time in marketing, one of my areas of responsibilities was SEO stuff, which is basically trying to make your website, get higher on the Google list. The joke was, if you ever want to hide a body, do it on the third page of Google, because no one ever goes there. But what I found by the time I got into it, there was already a bot war going on before even this AI thing going on, because Google has certain rules. This is for retail. Amazon has rules. Walmart has rules, and Disney has rules. They all have rules, and so any copy you have to write about any particular product has to match all those things and not anger any of them. And those goals are always moving. So you could use certain words, you couldn't use other words. Like Amazon will say you can't use this word, but Walmart will say you can, and vice versa. So it was also trying to make it sound human and fandom related. But then, as I know our friend of the show, Rob Cabasco, showed me the first gen AI thing, and he's like, "Tell me something you had to do this week." And I said, "Oh, I had to write a thing for this cup, whatever." And he had it do it, and it spit out something that was almost perfect without him doing it. I was like, "It's time for me to change careers."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and Pete, to your point though, there are things like if you film a video podcast episode and you just want, it used to take forever to switch between podcast angles as an editor, right? So when you're talking, I want to be on your camera. Then when I'm talking, we want to be on my angle. But there is, oh gosh, I forget what it's called, but it will do the cutting of an hour-long podcast episode in less than a minute. And then you just watch it through and refine.
AutoCut for that.
Oh yeah, this is called Autopod.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's like that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, that part of the creative process, like almost like the execution of it. I'm more like, okay, yes, that's where AI makes sense, right? But as far as the brainstorming, the thinking, the crafting of the thing, it just like, and I think and of course, this is not rapid fire anymore. We're going medium deep on this, but the thing that gets me is that everyone is using AI to write now. So all we're reading is AI, and we are getting this monotone, monoculture like voice, and it's insanity making. Like, I'm like, where is the distinction of each specific voice? So I miss that.
Well, that is a great question, because that's the topic for our next segment. So everybody shut up, because now it's time for an ad.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly. It's me, the creepy little British girl from all those scary movies. My return was inevitable, much like your death. That wasn't a threat. I won't be involved in your end, but I will be there waiting for you when you cross over. But what will you leave behind? What is your legacy? How will you be remembered? Those questions are being asked on my favorite new podcast. It's called Headstone. It's hosted by podcast impresario Wright, but it isn't a show about death. It's a show about life, and the words we hope will outlast us. If you're wondering what my epitaph was, it goes like this. Sweet little flower by bloom has fled, and thou art mouldering with the dead. Short was thy stay on earth below, and loath we were to let thee go. Find out what people would inscribe on their resting places by listening to Headstone, a podcast about legacy. Because all lives, much like this ad, must come to an end.
Wow.
Podcast impresario. Wow, Pete.
Her epitaph, the first line, I thought, well, this is going to be funny. And I started laughing really hard. And by the end, it was still not funny. It was just sweet. But I was laughing like an idiot. That is an emotional rug pull for the ages.
Well, I would assume that it was her parents that probably wrote that she was already gone by then.
She was gone.
Yeah.
And they were loath to let her go.
They were loath to let her go.
Loath.
I think the real lesson is that Pete finds dead children hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what Headstone is really about.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it does have a real bring out your dead
vibe. And I can't wait to listen. Yeah.
Okay, so to kick us off on our next major segment, a question goes to Kyle, which is, have you decided what your new name is going to be?
Yes, but I'm still not publicly releasing it because I know that you already have GoDaddy open, and I don't want you to grab the URL before I get there.
Is it Apple Pie Jones?
.org.
If it starts with shoeless anything, that's already been taken. I think that it's this gives us an opportunity to just think about how we create, because I know, Ryan, you also create in your secret identity. I'm sure there's another word for that. But I don't really. I mean, I create under True Story, the banner, but my name, and yet, we have had our work stolen. We had somebody just steal the Next Reel podcast and download all of our episodes and re-release it with ads. And that sucked. so, you know, I mean, I think about identity in, you know, from the perspective, the practical perspective of us as creators, and how important they are to the conversation of ownership. And I would love to hear how you would handle, if you had to start over, how you would handle creating your identity starting in 2025. What would you do differently?
I think one of the things I really like is there's certain people who I think had either a handle on it early or stayed the course and didn't get stuff. And John Scalzi is one of those guys, where he was one of those authors who like sort of saw how as he started in journalism, so maybe he was more in touch with it. But basically his thing was like, I have a website. It is my website. Everything else comes off of there and goes back to there. And as you know, social media has come and gone and lived and died and changed everything too, whatever, his website is still there. That's the thing I think that I would say to anybody starting out is basically have that, because like as much as TikTok will come and go, you know, Vine, rest in peace. I mean, all these things change and morph and everything too, but the web is the web, and a website is a website. And I know people don't do blogs much anymore and everything too, but having one central location that everything sort of goes back to, I think is one of those things I wish I had done earlier. I'm only like starting to have it now. I've tried a couple times and it's moved around, but I always wish I'd had that in the same way that Austin Kleon did, of just like building up everything off of this central tree, and then you can have as many branches off of it as you want to.
John August.
John August, yeah.
So yeah, I tend not to. I tend to save most of my like creative energy for actually writing the books. You know, for me, I feel like certain types of creativity come from certain buckets, like certain energies come from certain buckets, and the writing bucket to me, if I spend too much time or energy like crafting blogs, doing social media stuff, doing stuff like that, it takes from the same bucket as the one that I use to write.
Yeah, there's only one bucket.
Speak for yourself.
But then there's like when I paint, that comes from a different bucket. When I, you know, like create a recipe to cook, or I like to do bartending mixology type things when I create a cocktail recipe, that comes from a different. That doesn't come from my writing bucket. That doesn't deplete from my writing energy.
It's a booze bucket. So there's always a booze bucket.
Right. But so I save as much of that energy as I can and just put it into the books. There's a kind of a mantra among authors that the best way to market your current book is to write the next book.
Yes.
So, and that's not to say that I don't think other stuff has value. Clearly, I mean, I like doing stuff like this, and there is other stuff that I do that I enjoy, but I really try to keep it to a minimum and just direct my energy to the core thing that I'm trying to create. And that way I can create more of it and create it more often.
That made me think of something. So I'm sorry to jump back into there, but Ursula Le Guin had a thing of like how her day went. So this was her daily schedule. So 5:30 a.m., wake up and lie there and think. 6:15, get up and eat breakfast. Lots. 7:15, get to work, writing. Noon, lunch. 1 to 3, reading, music. 3 to 5, correspondence, maybe house cleaning. 5 to 8, make dinner and eat it. After 8 o'clock, I tend to be very stupid and we won't talk about this. And I feel the same way in the way you're talking about wants to move. Like the
That's my
correspondence
ideal
thing,
schedule,
right?
My ideal schedule.
I like the idea of trying to do all that stuff, like your creative part, and then sort of when you're out of juice, that's when you can like go to do the correspondence, which is the social media part, the scheduling posts, all that, because it's like you're already creatively engaged, but you're not actively doing anything, so you can sort of drift off of it a little bit. You can sort of you already have a bit of momentum And so rather than like devoting the full creative force into that, you kind of like can go off of whatever's left over. Does it work for me? No, but I think it's still a good plan.
I tend to actually kind of flip flop it and do life stuff and business stuff in the morning, and then in the afternoon is when I do my writing. But yeah, I mean, if that's just how it works for me. If someone can knock it out in the morning, that's great for them.
My morning brain is the freshest, for sure.
The problem is my morning brain is the freshest, but my evening energy is the hottest. So I'm stupid and energetic at night.
Which is why we record this podcast.
Why
then.
we're here when we're here. I think that, where I get stuck, and this is for you, Misty, is the whole blend of what Ryan said he doesn't do. The fact that as a creative, you have to sort of manage some piece of the bucket to go into the funnels in order to find people where they are. And finding that creative energy, I find needs as Kyle said, needs its own bucket. I'm notoriously bad at that. Like, I'm really bad at the social media marketing of this. Finding that energy is its own craft. Mm-hmm. And I would love to know how you do it.
I don't.
Good.
I literally don't. I think social media is our biggest weak point in my current creative ecosystem. Now, that being said, at my day job, I oversee our social media team and I'm advising on content and I'm putting a lot of energy and strategy there. But we have so this is for the podcast I produce for work. We have a full-time, can pay their rent and food bills and take care of their kids salaried person for social media because it is a full-time job. And even the creators that you think are just like, oh my gosh, they're just personal brands. They're, they're your traditional influencer, right? They have a team. It takes a team. They are not doing that themselves. It is a part-time job if you're doing it even to a half measure. But if you're doing it well and paying attention and editing and using great music and great lighting and great content generation, it is more than a part-time job. It is a completely different vertical. And so if you go help yourself, my passion project podcast, I don't think we've posted something new in months. And now I know this is important, but it's so interesting, you guys, because I think if you are a business, social media is like your I'm open sign. It's your storefront. It's your digital storefront. But people aren't going to social media to watch full podcasts. Right. People are not going to social media to read full books. And I think that's where I struggle is like, okay, so what's the right content for the right audience? Like, Ryan, you might be way more successful having a Substack and growing a following on Substack or a newsletter versus, it's like, where are your people already? Or if you're an executive coach, LinkedIn is where you want to be. You probably don't want to spend your time on Instagram. You're just shouting into the void in some senses. But if you are selling some kind of postnatal program to young moms who are, young, like elder millennial moms who are struggling to get their baby to sleep and struggling with hormones, like Instagram's an amazing place for you to broadcast those things because that's where they'll be found. So Pete, it is soul crushing. It's hard. It's a huge effort, but we're all trying to make it seem entertaining and light and fun or bite-sized. And so it's funny. I'm sure I could get more listeners if we focused on that. But something I have to ask myself all the time is it's not, is this good enough, right? Because if we're using that measuring stick, nothing's ever going to be good enough. We can always be doing more. I have to bring in the criteria of, is this good enough given, insert criteria here, that there's only me and Lisa, that we're dealing with family emergencies, that I'm working full-time during the day, that I don't want to spend, I'd rather be creating a podcast with you guys for 90 minutes than a post it takes 90 minutes to do a reel, So I don't do social media, but to answer, and I even struggle with my own personal thing, because if we're talking about living life as art, which is something I brought up on an early episode, it's like, is social media our personal journal? Do we owe it to the folks and our Dunbar number of friends, our 150 acquaintances to broadcast, I'm alive, I have a pulse, this is what's happening in my life, or our friends and family, which is how a lot of us keep in touch? If I'm, I'm single, right? And so it's like, am I trying to broadcast to potential suitors that I'm appealing? Am I trying to seem credible to employers? Like, it's like we're having to think about all things at once, because social media is political, it's personal, it's professional, it's all of the things. And I am absolutely drained and exhausted and trying to figure out what is, even the authenticity feels performative, and the performativeness is also authentic in its own way, because we're all trying to perform. So it really muddies it for me. But to go back to your original question, Pete,
you don't even have to if you don't want to.
I would love to. If I were starting completely from scratch today at 2025, and keep in mind, this is now me in my late 30s, like this is a different, more wise, been through a pandemic, grown up kind of lens, I think I would just start a newsletter. And it would be, because obviously you could have thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on a newsletter if you're one of the lucky ones and the consistent ones, but it feels more private. It feels like I can be more authentic. It's not just for anyone to find out there, and it's written and it's long and it's within more context, and it's not about how my hair looks that day, what the fuck my collagen or face is doing. Speaking as a woman, it can just be more poetic and authentic and go. It's like I'm sending a little letter to your doorstep and you're reading it there. It's not like I'm just shouting into a busy street of the digital commons.
Yeah. I just want to point out that at some point in Misty's fantastic response, she did out herself as using this podcast as a mechanism for potential suitors. Mm-hmm. And
no, that's not what you should take away from that.
That's exactly what I got. And I feel like the three of us now have an obligation to help Misty in this charge. So I look
for anyone out there, Misty's phone number is
just, I mean, great bone structure, a lot of fun to be with. Misty's amazing. We're gonna be working on that. Okay.
If she's willing to put up with the three of us, you'll probably be okay.
You're gonna be fine.
You're gonna be fine.
Kyle. This podcast will be known as Misty and Those Guys.
Well, that's a great .fun.
Yeah, .fun. Yeah, Misty and Those Guys. .fun. So there's a great article which I'm just going to read a little bit of. So it's called "So Your Kid Wants to Be a Twitch Streamer," and it's on Wired, and we'll put it. It's a really good article, but actually there's a bit in the middle that was so profound to me that I'm just going to read just a part of it, because essentially they're going down and this is basically written as a father talking to his kid, and it says when it comes down to it, he says. We come to the most important question: are you face or are you hands? There are two kinds of influencers. There are faces who show up on camera, even in the corner as they stream. They exist in the moment and talk for hours. Sometimes they become very famous if they can survive being famous on the internet. Sometimes they can monetize themselves, become wealthy. Hands influencers, however, they record and edit. They show you things. They are deliberate. They put the camera above the table. You see them at work, their knowledge and skills. You imagine your hands doing the same work. They can teach you to cook, play piano, do calligraphy, crochet, fix old toys, and yes, how to make Luigi stockpile golden bones to get one-ups. You may watch them for years and never see their faces. They add table of contents to their videos. They are your teachers, not your friends. They command respect. So, and it goes on from there and stuff too. But I've always, and since this little social media thing, I've always thought about faces or hands. Are you face or hands?
I've always loved the idea of starting a Twitch stream called "I Suck at Games," and and it would just be me playing games like I normally play them at a very middling level of skill, and be like, "Come laugh at me while I try to beat this level over and over again."
Well, I think
Mine is just like story mode, like the easiest
Right, yeah.
nude version.
Right.
It's essentially just let's watch a movie together and occasionally press a button.
Just turn the camera and go, that's pretty good, right?
That's awesome.
I think, Kyle, what that brings up for me is the orientation of why you're doing something. So the face, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the face. We need faces. We love faces. That's great. But I feel like the hands are the ones who are most of service, right? I am here to show you a thing, to be a skill, to help you level up in some way. And then the other ones, it's like, oh yes, I want to be the thought leader here, right? I'm here to help you up level all those things, but I also want to be that. And I think that is something when I was in my 20s, early 20s, it was like, oh yeah, being famous would be amazing. And internet famous, wow, what a crazy thing that must be for some people. But nowadays you could not pay me enough to sacrifice my anonymity. I want to be able to go to the grocery store out in the world. Like in working in TV, I've been, I've seen people make the journey from unknown to quite well known, and I don't envy it, and I would not want to be, I wanna
Totally
be the
unrelated.
hands.
Misty's number is on screen now. Lines are open.
We're always changing our display names on the live recording as a bit. I should have put Pete's number. I should have done that. Damn
I
it.
called in because I'm single too. Which one of you is
Damn
Misty?
it. You guys, I'm single. I'm not desperate. So
She's not ready
don't
to mingle.
worry. Don't worry. I'm not. No, yeah, not ready to mingle. That's my top fun.
How do you think, just on that bit, how do you think your art would change if you had to release it anonymously?
I think I'd write exactly what I'm writing now, honestly.
Yeah, I say not at all. I feel like I kind of already am.
Oh my God, I'd be so much more brave.
It's fascinating.
I almost feel like I live the double life because I don't know anybody who has like listened to this and then started listening or watching anything that I have done past. Like it's almost like they're just two separate. Like I don't know of anyone who has like listened to, hey, that guy did Marvel Movie Minute. He talked about the Hulk for 100 hours. Now I'm gonna go listen to his audio drama. Like I don't know that there was ever any crossover. So I kind of feel like if I have any fans, they have never met.
Well, I'm a fan because I found you through Marvel Movie Minute and your audio drama, and now we're podcasting together.
That's
so
right.
Joke's on you,
Yes,
sucker.
that's right. Enjoy the Venn diagram because you're all
Yeah.
alone in there.
I'm in the middle and alone.
But one Pete is such an impactful Pete.
Well,
true.
it's enough. That's all you
It's
need.
enough.
That's right.
I think it's interesting that Kyle Facehands McGee is
That's me.
decided that their work wouldn't change at all. And Misty, you said I would be so much more brave. Talk about that.
So much more brave. Okay, so I had this experience just this past summer where I was hanging out with my sister and we were kind of poolside, and she handed me a book and she said, you need to read this. And it was All Fours by Miranda July. Has anybody on this call read that? Okay.
No.
This Zoom,
This conference.
Zoom
Don't
meeting
ever say
minute.
that again.
Thank you for joining our
No,
meeting.
I'm firing myself.
We've already gone way off the agenda. Can we get back onto the?
Yeah.
Guys, there's no easy way to say this. I'm going to have to let the three of you
Yeah.
know.
I have an
Yeah.
AI bot recording this, and they will summarize that later.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in this and circle back. And
Set
maybe
the
we
table.
can get
Cold
12
chill
minutes
went up my
back
spine.
at the end of this meeting.
Yeah.
So my sister hands me the book All Fours by Miranda July. It's a fiction book, but even within the first 2 chapters, the way that she was writing like the honesty of the thoughts about, and it's in a first person, the main character's POV. So you're in her inner monologue. And just the way that she was writing about what she thought about her husband, the way she observed life, the way she observed sex, it was so strikingly raw and honest. And I just remember being like, wow, this is the most honest thing I've read in forever. And it's a fiction book. And I was so struck by that because I was like, oh my God, she's taking the thoughts right out of my head. And I had this moment just lying there where I was like, why do I put all of my thoughts through a filter before they go out? So if it's written, I'm trying to make sure that I'm inclusive for everybody, that I don't seem too messy, but I also want to be authentic and own up to the fact that I don't know anything. I think the wisest people out there are able to say, I don't know. I've learned some stuff, might not be true. Like that kind of, when you get to that level in your own, not, you know enough to know that you know nothing kind of a thing. But it made me realize I'm never just my 100% unfiltered self, except maybe with my sister and my journal. And I think maybe some of that has to do with the internet is forever. How would I broadcast those things? Would I even want to? Do I lose a part of myself or my soul in the exchange of making in public, in the exchange of talking about it? But to be honest, and I don't think this is anything you guys will have to deal with, but it's very different to be an honest and open and therefore potentially powerful and disruptive woman than it is to be a dude. It just is. The vitriol, you cannot win. You're too sexual, you're not sexual enough. You're too raw, you're not raw enough. You're too feisty, you are too timid. There literally is you will never ever win on any spectrum. And so then the question becomes, why risk it? Right? Like, why risk it? But I think if all my work were anonymous, which is making me realize maybe I need to start something anonymous.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Would it have like an edge and a rawness that I'm realizing in this moment maybe needs to be expressed?
Maybe we should, maybe we should all share a pseudonym.
It really sounds like it's urgent.
Let's share a pseudonym and never reveal who it is.
Just good Lord.
That was good.
Yeah. So I'm
tough week, huh?
I'm at 211 Fahrenheit. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, you said something that makes me that brings us back to our opening point, which is there is something sort of beautiful knowing that our work is and can be temporary, right? That and the thing that becomes scary for me is that anything I put out is going to be eaten by the machine. It's going to be gobbled up. And I can agree with you and say it's all based on a foundation of theft. That can be factually and semantically accurate. And it doesn't change the fact that it exists now and so much money is behind it. It's not going to change. It's not going anywhere. And that part is the thing that gives me pause. Like the only place I feel like I could be 100% authentic me is between me and a pen and paper or a magnetic tape, right?
Yes.
And there is something
this is
pleasantly arcane about that.
This is
full circle.
Well, but this is interesting.
This
is interesting thing between the three of you and me, because you are all living your creative dreams and I am not. I work a 9 to 5 and nobody knows I do this. So
you're already anonymous.
That's what I'm saying. So what you're getting here, this I feel like is my most authentic, real me. I am hiding myself 23 of the 24 hours. Like I know, like I basically, this is Bruce Wayne. Like I have a whole Batman life that is way more boring. So I don't get to live the creative thing. Like my thing is my dark secret. Like I have to, everything I do has to be done quietly in the secret, so no one ever can see what it is. So it's interesting. I mean, it's an interesting, different dynamic too, because like this is where I feel the most free with this microphone in front of me, as opposed to all the rest out in the world.
Kyle, let me ask you this. That makes so much sense, and thank you for that perspective. I'm curious if you think that would change if, let's say, one or several of your podcasts blew up And suddenly you had hundreds of thousands of subscribers, lots of comments. Let's say it's video, it's YouTube, all those things. Do you think that you could still be your most authentic self, or do you think that you'd start like catering, caging, like just calculating, calibrating all the C's?
I think I think that's obviously is a a big question, and I think by now this is what it is. Like it's sort of there's very little I feel like can influence me anymore. Like I don't feel like I would be that swayed, and honestly, I have no idea what the numbers of anything are. I don't know how many people listen to this show. I don't know how many people listen to any of the stuff really. I can see charts and things, but I don't know what that means. So if that number had a comma in it or it had 2 commas in it, it doesn't make any difference to me because I received no financial remuneration from anything I ever have done. So everything I've done in my entire career has been for the love of the game because I've gotten paid 3 times in the 15 years that I've been writing. So so I don't. I mean, sure. Of course, you at a certain point, and then suddenly you start to go, "What am I doing right that I need to keep on doing?" And suddenly the whole thing changes. But yeah, and at this point, I don't even know how much I would be influenced because I'm kind of this is where it is, like it or not, and most people don't.
Oh, stop now. You just stop that.
I like your writing.
If I need to be
I like my writing too,
marm,
so I'm very proud of it.
All right. So the premise of this all these shenanigans up front was around how's your creativity changed around AI. And we're talking a lot about our process, sort of the mental math that goes into how we create. And
I have a positive spin coming, so
Kyle, I dare you to give me a positive
I got it. I got
spin.
it. But I'll say I'm gonna keep it in my pocket because I don't want it to go all doom and gloom, because everybody knows the doom and the gloom. But I think there's also a bright side.
Well, the thing that's interesting to me, and actually I think about your work as part of it, and some of mine, and that is there is stuff that you do that would could never be recreated by AI because why? It's weird. And that's one of the reasons I have such a huge heart for the stuff that you do. Like I love it because it feels human. And so I wanted to talk to each of you and have you reflect on the role of weirdness in an age where everything is sameness, right? What is our responsibility to continue to inject human weird so that we stand out in an era when everything is AI talking to AI?
I think it's imperative. I think it's the most vital number one priority. Whatever that humanness is, we cannot lose it. You can't lose it. You have to be distinct. And I don't mean distinct like figure out some weird thing and put on some extra mask. I mean like, who are you at your core? Like I was just talking about, my unfiltered self is going to be more distinct than my calculated professional filtered self. And Kyle, side note, while you were saying that about your last share, I realized the reason that I hedge a little bit or polish a little bit or am a little softer, a little kinder is because I never know if an employer is going to find my old stuff. They're going to listen to a podcast episode where maybe I was just a little too loosey-goosey and I'm going to miss out on an opportunity. It's more about avoiding loss. It's loss aversion versus leaning into the benefits that could come from being so authentic and raw, but same with a suitor, same with a friend, same with and I'm always my authentic self, but I think authenticity is a spectrum. When you feel super safe with someone, there's shades of it. But that being said, going back, Pete, I think we must lean into. Like, first of all, I loved an M dash before ChatGPT. I will continue to use M dashes.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's the weird way that you would structure a sentence that AI would never do? What's the weird facial expression that you do? How weird would you make your art? And by weird, right? Like distinct, not uniform, not polished, not perfect. Analog.
Yeah. So I'd like to hear some from you.
From me, Misty.
All of you, because that was the assignment.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I know that maybe more than anybody, because of your like valedictorian energy, that Misty brought something. And if you would like to go first,
Sure.
you're absolutely welcome to. I look forward to it, and I have it open right here.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about it?
Fantastic. Yes. Okay. So speaking of weird and authentic, back in 2016, I wrote a sketch packet. And the whole point of this sketch packet, and this was actually birthed out of a comedic monologue writing class that I took. And the point of this class is that you are supposed to tap into your own comedic essence, your own, and the teacher was brilliant. She took us through free writing exercises and word associations and then helped us build out these monologues. And then a few of them actually became full sketches for me. And I wrote them out and put together a sketch packet. Now, side note, the teacher's name in that class was a woman named Lisa Linky. And I met her through this class. I became so obsessed with this woman that over the next several years, I slowly conned her into having a friendship with me. Now we have co-hosted 350 episodes of Go Help Yourself together. And she's my roommate. So that's
You
how well
single
that
white
class.
female her totally.
I did. Yeah. Is that the one where someone boils a rabbit? I boiled a rabbit.
No,
Okay.
That's Fatal Attraction.
No,
Okay,
you
great.
just did a mashup, is what you just did. That was
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Whoever, write
I-
that movie. We need it.
I
Yeah.
have asked all my fabulous co-hosts on this call, all you men, to not read this before you came on. It's okay if you did, but don't. I hope you didn't. Okay, so Kyle, you are going to be reading the part of Julia and also the stage directions.
Okay.
Pete, you are going to be Catherine.
Got
Ryan,
it.
you'll be Caroline. And there's one too many characters. So I'm going to take Amy and Lindsay. And I really hope that I did this well so that it makes sense as you guys are listening. But just know that this sketch packet, comedic monologue packet from 9 years ago was and is some of my most authentic essence. This is the very first sketch. It is called Fempire.
So, what's your tolerance for silly characters when we read your
Let the
work?
work speak.
I say, not knowing
Yeah.
what the script
Yes.
is,
Yeah.
can we be silly?
So I will say the words will do a lot of the work for you.
Trust the
but
text.
do you mean like with voices?
Yeah, I'm just thinking I would love to try an Anna Faris impression.
Can you
You
can,
know, like
can you
that type
audition it
of-
for us now before we
Yeah,
commit to the
we
whole
hear it.
sketch?
Yes, please.
Ooh, oh wow.
Ah.
Just very airheady and what are we doing? Like that.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna
You cast me.
I'm gonna
You
yes
can't give me lines.
and I'm gonna say you do what you want.
Okay.
But I will
Okay.
say the beauty of this sketch is that it is like 5 incredibly competent women.
Like all in the same room? That's weird.
Pete, that is the perfect segue. And once again, I'm firing myself, but this time I'm giving myself a severance package
Hey.
of 3 years. Of 3 years. I'm getting some kind of
Okay.
we settled out of court. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Okay. So Kyle, will you take it away and
I
set
will.
us up?
Do you want me to read the name of this, or is that part of the surprise?
Oh, I said it already, but go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so this is Fempire. Interior cafe, morning. A group of friends sit at a table, half-eaten brunch dishes in front of them. Mimosas in hand, Amy, Caroline, Lindsay, and Catherine listen to Julia pour her heart out. We barely ever fight, but he got heated and said all these things, and I realized that our relationship is getting out of control. This is so embarrassing.
Don't be embarrassed. We have all been there.
You have? All the women nod in agreement.
What did he say?
That he feels like I'm out to get him. That he swears I'm intentionally plotting to bring him down. That all women have this big conspiracy to try and sabotage men and overthrow the patriarchy.
Oh, God.
And I kept thinking how does he know? I thought I was being so discreet. Like when I tried to subtly make him feel crazy by referring to people and events I've never mentioned before and then pretending to get upset because he doesn't remember them so I can use it as leverage to guilt him into seeing more female-driven movies. You have to vote with your money, I mean, am I doing something wrong?
No, you're so good
Of
at
course
that.
not. You're very talented.
Seriously, you just have to throw him off the scent. Maybe you need to brush up on the stealthy go-tos, like strategic blue balls in the morning so he doesn't perform as well as at work, which gives women a better chance of climbing the ladder and breaking the glass ceiling.
Exactly. And you can always lean on Aunt Flo in a pinch. Men are clues about that stuff. So every time Brandon wants to have sex, I say I'm on my period. That way I have time to troll misogynist commenters on the internet and engage them in dynamic discussions about gender politics. If he starts to suspect something, just get all technical. Brandon once asked me why I always seem to be menstruating, so I told him my uterine flaps were deflating. That was the end of the conversation.
You are a goddess.
You're right. I just need to get my confidence back.
Totally. I've bounced back from giant blunders. One time, my boyfriend caught me straight up poking holes in a condom. I was going to trap him with a pregnancy and make him be the stay-at-home parent to help subvert the statistics of women traditionally assuming the role of support spouse. Whoa, what did you do? I pretended I was just testing it for strength, but I think he knew. Yeah, he knew.
That does make me feel a little better. You always seem so put together, like you never make mistakes.
No one's perfect. You should try switching it up a little. Get some new moves to keep him guessing.
Like what?
Have you considered a long con? I'm a fan of a slow death by mothering. Treat him like he's your child, and you can mold him like putty. I find that emasculated men are much more open to me forcing feminist rhetoric on them and will do all sorts of bizarre things once they've heard it, like letting a woman take over a project at work, granting longer maternity leave, and even seeing a woman cry and not blaming it on her menses.
I love a long con. I once shaved my head and pretended I had cancer for 2 years so Micah would be more receptive to my ideas. I told him my dying wish was to have an all-female Supreme Court, so now he's volunteering for like every female political campaign he can find.
So brave.
You guys are so inspiring. I really thought I had massively screwed up.
Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not like you told him how periods aren't real. God, could you imagine if they were?
Horrifying.
The worst.
Excuse me, waiter. Can you cash this out? Of course. Will this be one card or split?
We already gave you the card.
The waiter looks panicked. He instinctively checks his pockets.
I'll be right back.
He leaves.
Making up for the wage gap, one meal at a time.
Julia turns to her friends, eyes filled with gratitude. Aw, you guys! And scene.
Did we do it?
Insane.
Did we do okay?
You did okay. You did okay. I will say with like the sharp delivery that it is written for with like the bam, 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 it definitely hits a little bit more rhythmically. But yes, that was my
Okay.
weird from 2016.
It's a good weird.
It was
It's a
good. It was
weird.
really good.
Like your poetry, should probably keep making more of that.
Thank you for saying the industry
Just
is
saying.
dying. It's dying.
Yeah.
It's kind of
no.
dead, and it's not a meritocracy.
Sketch is not a strong
No.
place right now.
Well, it's not
No.
even sketch. It's like, this was just like meant to be a writing sample, which my agent at the time absolutely loved. But it's just comedy writing in general. I'm really, really proud of the comedies that I've written, the full script comedies, the full dramas. Very proud. But it's just not what it was when I got here 15 years ago. There's not even a pilot
sure.
season anymore. Everyone's watching
gone.
TikTok. and streamers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you guys. How did it feel to be so feminist
That was great.
for 5 minutes?
Quite natural, actually.
I was like, I need to control my breath so I
I
can
was
get
in
through
the
all this in
zone.
one. That was good.
Right. Right. All right.
I very rarely get to bust out that Anna Faris impression.
Oh, it was
so,
good. It was
you know.
delightful.
Great job.
I'm
Great
glad you
job.
went. I'm glad you went that way.
Pete, did your character become Jewish halfway through?
Yeah.
Okay,
Halfway
just-
through, it
I
became.
like the
that was-
Long
yeah.
Island
Right.
feel.
Yeah.
I think that
I didn't.
it really
I
fit the
didn't-
character.
I didn't know where it was going when I started, but by the end, I feel like I really locked in. You know, I did a
Oh
little
my
found it.
internal workshopping. Yeah, no. All right. So, not Ryan. What's your weird?
Mine is one paragraph.
Okay.
So yeah, I was trying to think, like, what have I done in fairly recently that I just had a blast with, and I think it's fun, and it's just a thing that maybe someone would stumble onto, maybe they won't. And I thought of the author, about the author little bio that I wrote for Archer Thorne, who is my alter ego who writes the superhero series, which, by the way, the second book is coming out within the next couple of months. Happy to say.
Outstanding.
So yeah, I had this idea come to me, and it was one of those things that emerged fully formed. I wrote it in 30 seconds, and I thought, okay, I think that I never changed the thing. I still like it. Yeah. Yeah. So here's the about the author for my alter ego. Archer Thorne was born in the same city as you, on the same day, in the same hospital. In the room next to yours, his mission began. He has hunted you day and night for your entire life. When you finish this book, he will be standing behind you. Run. And that's the bio for Archer Thorne.
That's so fun.
That's awesome.
That's a distillation of me, pretty clearly.
I
Yeah, and that's
love
it. It's short,
Yeah.
but I'm proud of it, and I don't think a machine would ever come up with
No.
that. So
No, it's perfect. All right, Kyle.
So I want to talk about obsession, because that, I think, is what the secret silver bullet for this AI thing is. Because in this world we have of everybody just like constantly putting out as much as they can, just product. I mean, franchises, and they're just overwhelming us with them. There's never enough time to get really obsessed with anything anymore, because the next thing is coming around. But the people want things they can become obsessed with, and they want fandoms. They you can see when people find something of true substance or value, or just the weirdness, they will flock to it. Like they're, like Welcome to Night Vale is a good example of it too. There's no algorithm that says that this should be popular, and yet it has attracted the right group of weirdos, and they can tour around the world with just 3 people and a guy on a keyboard and fill an entire club, from every town they go to for night after night after night. But there's no way you could have ever known that. So I think the obsession goes both ways. And so if you have something you're obsessed with and you can funnel it into your work, then that is something that can't be done by AI slot machines and, just putting in whatever the good demographics are, because no one will get as obsessively detailed and weird as you will about the thing that you absolutely love. And people will look at that and go, wow. Like even if they don't necessarily cotton to it, they'll be like, boy, you really put everything into that, didn't you? And that's one of the things that I wrote. I wrote a play that I dearly love that will never be performed. No one has the guts to do it. Because one of my secret obsessions is late night television. From Johnny Carson all the way down to Stephen Colbert and all this kind of stuff. I love the whole late night thing, the late night wars and back and forth, and the scheming and the fact that there's no stakes, and yet there's multi-million-dollar things involved. It's just a person interviewing people that he doesn't want to interview. And I say he because look at the field. It's mostly dudes, and it's mostly white dudes. But it's always been a passion of mine. So, but I was so fascinated by the whole time when Johnny Carson left, and then suddenly became about David Letterman and Jay Leno, and then all the backstage machinations of that. And then all of a sudden it happens again when Conan has to go away, and now it's coming around again. Like, I thought Late Night Wars were over, and it's coming back around. And so I wanted to think, I'm like, okay, how can I express this? How can I put this out in a way that people will understand why this is so interesting to me, why I'm so obsessed with this? So I decided to write the Late Night Wars like Game of Thrones. So I wrote a play called A Game of Late Night Thrones, and it's about a woman explaining to her boyfriend her obsession with this thing in the language of Game of Thrones. So it's about kingdoms and a king who's stepping down and his land is being divided, and there are magicians and everyone's scheming against each other. And so it's Shakespearean, because it's like the two rival sons fighting over what's left of their father's kingdom and backstabbing and lying. And then once you think it's over, then suddenly it's like, Richard IV, like all of a sudden it comes back around again. And suddenly the king now is leaving and doesn't want to leave the throne. And now he has this usurper who's coming in. And then it all sort of cycles back around again. It's one of the things where, like, it's not marketable. No one cares, and no one would be interested enough to do this. But it was the obsession. Like, I'm like, I have to write this because no one else in the world would put this stuff together. But I have to be the one to do it. And I think that is where the secret sauce really lies, is finding a thing that you're so passionate about, that the story you have to tell, and getting it out there. Whether you find an audience or not, that's sort of the secondary part of it. The first part of it is just having something out there that you're happy with, that is uniquely human.
I want to see that.
Right?
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone through several revisions of it. It's long because it's Shakespearean. It's a huge show. I think it's like 2.5 hours long or something like that.
Just
and like,
hearing you pitch it, though, is the whole point of this conversation.
Right.
Right?
Like,
Like,
this
it's
is what I'm
the
saying,
thing that
because
sounds most interesting right now.
I've had one of my beta readers has read it and like absolutely loves it. She's like, I don't know why to do this, but it's like trying to be like, oh, you could do Angels in America, or you could do A Game of Late Night Thrones. And people go, well, let's do the one that won all the Tonys. But it's the same length. Oh.
Yeah.
It made me, and it's a completely different thing, but for some reason it made me think, did you ever see Downton Arby's?
No.
So
No.
it's about 4 minutes long, and it's a very polished, well done parody video. And it's got like Richard Kind is in it, and so it's like people did it who knew what they were doing. And it takes all the tropes and like the tone and everything you would expect from Downton Abbey and puts it into the employees of an Arby's, and it is outstanding. It is so funny.
I'm going to be looking that up.
Just Google it. Google it and enjoy.
Wow.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I just want to pivot to my little thing. I did have to ask one of my writing partners what my weirdest thing was that he'd ever seen me do. And he says he just has one line, and he found it in like 35 seconds, something that I wrote 25 years ago. And the line was, they walked for some time down the tree-lined lane, speaking slowly, as stupid people would, of love and loss and the dreams of children in some sort of captivity. I don't even remember the story that came from, but that was the first thing that he found of mine. What I thought of was actually a sketch too. In college, written in 1993, I was part of a sketch comedy group called Section 8, and we wrote our own sketch work. And the one that I contributed to our very first show was based on a Jacques Cousteau special. Misty, you know who Jacques Cousteau is?
Yes.
Okay.
You make me feel so young. Keep it coming.
Yeah, that's good. So I watched a Jacques Cousteau bit about 2 hours on the Discovery Channel or whatever, and it was the search for the legendary giant squid. And this is before they found a legendary giant squid. I think they found a legendary giant squid now, but they didn't at the time. And he always said it like, we're on the hunt for the legendary giant squid. And he said it over and over. And by the end, they did not find the legendary giant squid. How did this get made? That's a great question. We're not going to litigate that today. What I want to say is I wrote a sketch about a BBC reporter that went looking for the legendary giant squid. And the legendary giant squid was actually the legendary giant squid of Knottesbury, Lancashire, London, W9. And it was a recurring sketch that kept coming back in between other sketches like Masturbators Anonymous and Male Urinal Etiquette 101.
Ooh.
And it would be interrupted by this character meeting people who have somehow fraternized with the legendary giant squid. He does eventually, in part 3, end up in amongst his tiny friends in Our Lady of the Brutal Vivisection Grammar School, where only yesterday the legendary giant squid of Knottesbury, Lancashire, London, W9 had washed up again. It seems he posed as a substitute teacher, Mrs. Squidley, and defeated Mr. Grimley's third period gym class in War Bowl single-handedly. But the atrocities don't end there. Eventually, he puts another teacher in a throny crown and throws stones at her head. This went on and on and on, anthropomorphizing the legendary giant squid, and I loved it. Did it bring down the house? I don't care. It was my triumph
Yes.
that I got the other idiots in this group to agree that this should be on stage, and we made it, and it lived. And it was my favorite thing that I think I had done. It's my favorite contribution to college. How about that? Is the
Ooh.
Well
for the
done,
legendary giant squid.
Peter.
Wow.
I did
Wow.
work this line in, and I'm going to say the host comes back and says, the crook, the thief, the Indian god, or her lover. Where will it all end? We don't know. That was the end of part 3. There are 2 more parts, y'all.
It's
keeps
filled
coming
with
back.
intrigue. It's
It's
brimming
filled.
with intrigue.
Filled. Yeah. Okay. That's what I had. That's all I want to talk about for that bit. And now I think,
Hey, why are we
You have
doing
something
hold
else?
ads
on,
when
I
we
have-
could be having the squid be showing up?
I have
theoretically
one.
throughout the
I have one
episode.
more thing I gotta say because it did not
Oh,
occur to
okay.
me that I could just tell you the log line of a project that I thought I was trying to be valedictorian, as you
Ooh.
said.
Yeah,
And
you
I was
did.
like, let
you
me
did
bring a
exactly what you
sketch.
needed to do.
I
No,
The
do
rest
actually-
of
have
us
to
failed
tell
the
you,
assignment.
Actually, yes, save that because that's actually a future topic I have on our
Yeah.
list of things for.
Is a lot.
The-
It's
log
appropriate
lines.
for this though. It's
Yeah.
appropriate.
No,
I
hit
have
it.
plenty
hit
of
it.
other
I'm just
log
saying,
lines.
Okay, good.
I wrote an entire first draft of a half-hour comedy called Sperm Robin Hood, where a college student who's working as an escort and her sister is struggling with fertility problems accidentally starts a business where she steals sperm from the rich to give to the poor. I have like a 38-page first draft. There's an A story, a B story, a C story. It's got a beginning, middle, end. It's got obstacles. It's got mutually exclusive conflict. That's that.
And we can see it in 2026 on Pornhub.
You know,
no, Tubi. Rude. It's premium cable streaming. It's HBO.
Okay.
It's like girls.
It's HBO. You got it.
There,
I love it.
HBO.
there actually, I can't seem to find. Oh yeah, there. I'm sorry to say, somebody beat you to it. Somebody got the idea
What?
out there and made that before you had to, not specifically that, but close enough that you'd have to change it to.
What is it and what
What is
year?
the-
Because
what is
I
it
have
called?
dated
It was
files on
from
mine.
2000, from 2022, I think it was. Bo and Yang did a show called White Hot Heist, which was about
Mm.
stealing man seed.
So when I tell you that I wrote this in 2017,
Oh, I
2018,
believe you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it
They're
was
gonna be like, "Oh, you mean
yeah.
like that thing?" And you'd be like, "But mine."
Sperm Robin Hood.
oh yeah, but that's
Wow.
you know that's 2 for them, 1 for me, right? And that was
Uh-huh.
the one for
Available exclusively on
Okay.
Audible.
me, you know.
Hot
Yeah.
White
Guys,
Heist. We
Hey,
received no money
everybody,
from Audible.
shut up. We're tossing to an ad.
Do you want to hang out with fans of audio drama at an event dedicated to all things fiction podcasting? Us too. We're crowdfunding the Audio Fiction Convention, a one-day event bringing together creators and fans of audio fiction. We'll have a main stage for panels all about audio drama and an artist alley for creators to show off their work. Speakers include Will 359's Gabrielle Urbina, Greater Boston's Jeff Van Driesen, Reed Dracula's Hannah Wright, Temujin's Roshan Singh, Hello from the Hallowoods' William A. Wellman, and more. The event is being organized by Ann Baird, Tal Minear, and me, Will Williams. The three of us have been in the audio drama scene for almost 10 years, and we're so excited to celebrate fiction in audio with you. The Kickstarter is live September 7th, and if the event gets funded, it will happen June 14th, 2026 in Boulder, Colorado. Check out audiofictioncon.com for more information. See you soon.
Well, that's another real thing.
It is. So we have
Super
some
cool.
fun on this show,
Super
but
cool.
that is actually a real thing. They are really trying to do this. So there is but when you're listening to it, I'm not sure, but there is a Kickstarter running. And if not, hopefully they have, by the time you hear it, they have made it. And you can actually go and try and book tickets to go see it. So I thought I'm a member of the audio drama community. And so this was something they put out a thing of like, hey, everybody wants to help us spread the word. So I thought I would like to help you spread the word.
Cool.
That's really cool. Welcome, one and all, to the cinematic circus we call the Working Title Game. This is the game where Hollywood's top secret project names are dragged into the light, and you, our fearless contestants, must prove you know your blockbusters from your bargain bin soap operas. Here's how it works. I'll read you a real, actual working title used during the production of a very famous movie. First, you have to guess what film it became. Easy, right? But we're not done. Oh no, because once the real answer is revealed, your job is to do Hollywood's job better. Come up with a new, improved working title that would have actually fooled the paparazzi and looked less like a bad garage band name. So buckle up. It's time to flex your movie knowledge and your marketing snark. Let's play the Working Titles Game.
Is that
Bless
the
you,
final name
Pete.
of the game, or is that just more of a...
It's a working title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's a working
no, it's fine.
title.
Okay, here we go.
How's this
I've
work?
got some. This is going to be the thing. I'm going to read one. I think you should just buzz in. Whoever gets it gets the first shot at making a different one. And if nobody gets it, I don't care. I'll tell you, probably give you 1,000 points, and you can come up with a better one anyway. Rules schmools.
I think all of our buzzer sounds should be the word Misty.
No. Can you guys all roll your tongues? Can you all
What
roll
do you
your
mean?
tongues?
Like
Roll it over?
like that? Like
I don't have
be
to
my
do
buzzer.
that.
How will
I'm
Pete
the
know?
host.
But you
whose
could. But you
roll
could.
is the right
Pete.
word?
You could.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to prove I could. How about this one? Bravo 14. Bravo 14. Misty.
Okay, so this to me, obviously an action movie. So I am wondering if it's either something like Top Gun or if it's like Sphere. Do you guys remember Sphere Under the Water?
And how?
And how? What a cinematic masterpiece. I'm going Bravo 14. I'm thinking planes. I'm gonna
Planes. We have
Is
to
that
guess
like
for
the-
planes.
No,
Pixar offshoot movie?
sorry. Planes is
Oh.
an element.
Oh,
I'm gonna
she's
say-
still,
I'm gonna say
she's still
Top
working.
Gun.
She's
I'm
still
gonna
working
say
through
Top
this,
Gun.
guys. Shut up.
Top Gun.
Woman is
Top
talking.
Gun.
Shut up.
You're going Top Gun. We have one vote for Top Gun. Anybody else? No? 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 Yes.
I'm going to throw Black Hawk Down in there.
Oh, Black Hawk Down. Another excellent choice. Not it. The real answer is Suicide Squad.
No.
Suicide Squad.
Wait,
no, it
Suicide
really
Squad
is.
or The Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Really important
Suicide
distinction.
Squad.
Yeah.
It is.
Here's another
definite
one
article.
I think you're gonna love. That is, he says, sorting. Oh, I'm gonna give you an easy one. This one is an easy one. It's gonna be fast. Get those buzzer tongues ready. Everybody comes to Rick's. Yes. Oh,
That would be Casablanca, I would
it
think.
is
right?
Casablanca. 1,000 points to Ryan. Ryan, would you like a shot at coming up with a better one for Casablanca?
Yes.
Go.
Nobody's gambling here.
Shocked, I tell you, that is a better
Wait, I
one
have
than
one, I have
everybody
one.
comes to Rick's.
I have
Yes, Misty.
White House.
White House. You're right.
Ah,
It was a big
Casablanca.
one.
ah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you think that
Very
would be
chic.
too on
Nice.
the nose for the paparazzi?
Mm.
No, because they
No.
first of all they haven't seen the film yet, so they wouldn't know.
Right.
Secondly, they'll go, no, that's too obvious. This must be the animated hot dog movie.
Mm.
You know,
So good.
it's
Yes,
called Hiding
okay.
in Plain Sight, Pete.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm not of Los Angeles. I would have been able to see that. This is another one that maybe too on the nose. That's a little hint on the nose. The working title is I See You, but I is EYE. Yes,
Daredevil.
we have one vote for Daredevil,
Ooh.
which is wrong. Next, anybody else? It's another big one. Yes.
Lord of the Rings.
No.
Okay. Wow.
Well,
Eye of Sauron. No. Okay.
That was good. That was
It was
good.
a good guess.
Yeah.
It was a good guess, though. That was valid.
I have one of these hanging on my wall of wonders.
I'm just going to guess.
Kyle
and say
should know
Dreamcatcher.
what it is.
Sorry.
I might wear it around my neck.
oh, Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Oh, as in Eye of
Eye of
Agamotto.
Agamotto.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You're
Nice.
welcome.
You mean this?
Okay.
Are you talking about this?
Yes.
Aha.
Yes.
Nice.
You have it right
I
there.
have it right there.
How about
I'll take it off your corpse. Sorry, just a random line from because I like the psycho villains, and so Ebony Maw I thought would have been a fun character to play.
For sure.
Anyway, go ahead.
How about Oliver's Arrow? Oliver's Arrow.
Wow, I mean that's a Green Arrow reference. It sounds like
It
but
does
he's never
sound
been
like
in a
it.
movie.
I know. That's a
And this
real
is a major-
wicked
major
tricksy
film? Major film.
major film.
Robin
By
Hood, Prince
a
of Thieves?
Major, it is not Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It is not related to archery,
Hmm.
or as far as I know, anyone named Oliver. But maybe.
Is it comic book related?
No.
Oh boy, because that takes out my other guess.
It is. I'll give you the. Would you like the director? I can give you the director,
Yeah.
so at least you know
Yeah.
the
Yes.
oeuvre.
Yeah.
And the year, and then the title.
Christopher Nolan.
Tenet?
No.
Oliver's Arrow. Why am
The
I
answer.
blanking on the one
is-
about space? What is
Interstellar?
that title? Is it Interstellar?
Nope.
We'll just name all his
Yeah,
movies.
you're
till we
going to get
to the
there.
Right one,
I'll
yeah.
tell you, it's Inception.
Hmm.
Oh, God,
Inception.
I love Inception.
I
What
know,
a
right? This
great
makes you feel
movie.
really bad because that should be
Yeah,
something
yeah,
we
exactly.
all
I
know.
just saw the big IMAX re-release of it.
This, I don't know if this is my favorite one. There are a couple here that we're getting into the territory of my favorites in our final round. I will start with Planet Ice. You guys, this is so good. Once you know, you'll never forget.
Bridesmaids.
Do I need to say it? No, that's not Bridesmaids.
Okay, no, I figured.
Planet Ice.
The Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, that would be so good too, but
Uh-huh.
it wasn't. Nope. In fact, I'm real sorry, Jack. Rose had to let you go. It's Titanic.
No.
Planet
What do you think
Ice?
of that? Planet Ice.
Oh my God, Jim.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
How about
What do you know
Red
as long as you
Sky
know?
at Night?
Red
You say
October.
Red Sky at Night?
The Hunt for Red
Red
October.
Sky
Red
at
Sky at
Night. The Hunt for Red. It's not the Hunt for Red October.
That feels like a rocket ship, doesn't it? Oh wait,
'Cause-
Red in the morning.
Well, that's
Sailor's
Red Sky at
Warning,
Night,
Red
Sailor's-
at night,
Sailor's
at
Warning.
night.
So I'm going to guess Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Ryan. Yes, that's another 1,000 points. to Ryan. Pirates of the Caribbean. Ryan, do you want to do
wait,
an
the first one?
alternate,
The-
better one?
The Curse of the Black Pearl.
No,
sure.
I'm sorry. It's At World's End.
At World's End, okay.
World's End.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Everyone overboard.
Like the franchise. Okay.
Uh-huh.
How about we do 2 more? Just 2. This could make or break it. Unless you're Ryan, who's already pretty much won.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rory's first kiss.
Oh, crap.
Rory's
I know this one. Oh,
first
man.
kiss.
And these are all movies.
Yes.
They're not. Okay.
Man, I feel like this is a Marvel thing. Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh, Ryan.
It's the Avengers.
What?
Avengers.
It is not Avengers.
Oh, I thought it was. My bad.
Yes, Misty.
Sophie's Choice.
The answer is The Dark Knight.
That's it.
Wow.
The
I knew that.
Okay.
Wow.
Knight.
So I got the genre right,
Yeah,
but not the
for
not the
sure.
movie.
And the last one.
That's a phone alarm
is-
going off.
Oh,
put
good.
that in
Yeah, it
your
must be time to
audio.
podcast.
Chirp, chirp.
Starbeast.
Misty's very important.
Starbeast.
Yes.
Predator.
Oh, so close. It is not Predator.
The Thing?
Starbeast.
Alien.
Alien. It's Alien. In our grab bag, can we come up with a better one than Starbeast for Alien?
Space Truckers.
I've always liked Space Truckers.
Sure. Yeah.
Space Truckers it is. And with 1,000,000 points, that's Ryan Dalton. Outstanding. I will tell you, because you said Avengers, that one was Group Hug.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Avengers Age of Ultron was After Party.
Mm-hmm.
And Man of Steel was Autumn Frost. So there you go. That's
Nice.
something you
Group
don't
Used to
Hug
dance under
is
that name.
excellent.
really hear about every day. Yeah. Oh, Star Trek, the
Mhm.
J.J. Abrams Star Trek, corporate headquarters. That's right.
Nice.
Outstanding work, y'all. That is, I think, our show. That's all I have. Look, you guys are the best. You, Misty, go help yourself. Everybody go listen to that. Go help yourself the podcast. Ryan's written so many books, and they're all really good. And the new one's coming really soon.
Thank you.
Yes, very excited about that. And Kyle, for the love of God, people, go become a fan of Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society, because it's my favorite thing in the world. The ladies are amazing.
And listen to Headstone on True Story FM
Yeah.
if you want to hear
Well,
amazing
you.
conversations about legacy by the
And
one
you
and
know,
only
it.
there's a
Pete
good
Wright.
chance you might be haunted if you don't, because
Yeah.
because of the scary
The
British
scary-
girl. Everybody, this has been fantastic. Go make weird stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last 90 minutes. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
go make weird art.